Welcome to the 10th edition of the Monsoon Cup here in Malaysia. The same famous and nail-biting event, but this time hosted at the Country Gardens Resort in Johor Bahru for the very first time. It's the 7th and final stage of the 2014 Alpari World Match Racing Tour. This event will not only see the first winner of the new Tunku Laksmana Johor Trophy, but also see the new world champion crowned. It promises to be a spectacular finale to an epic year of match racing. Coming into this final event, the overall leaderboard looks like this. In first place, it's Ian Williams on 94 points. In second, and with 88 points, is Taylor Canfield. And in third spot, with 76 points, is Mathieu from Team LunaJets. In fourth is Bjorn Hansen and the Hansen sailing team on 69 points. Keith Swinton, heading Team Alpari FX, is on 58 points and in fifth spot. This World Championship deciding event will see 12 teams racing for the Monsoon Cup, 5 of which Ian Williams, Taylor Canfield, Mathieu, Bjorn Hansen and Keith Swinton have a chance to win the world title. But all eyes are on the defending world champion Taylor Canfield and the current tour leader Ian Williams, who's looking to make his 5th world title win. Williams was pipped to last year's world title by Canfield, who won his first crown with his team US1.
This could be the 5th World Championship for GAC Pindar, but we're not really thinking about that now. We're at the moment thinking about Bjorn Hansen in race 1, and if we can get one win on the board, then maybe we can get another one.
It is a tight battle between us and Williams, and you know, we do know what we need to do to win the championship this year. So it's just going to come down to seeing how we finish after the qualifying stages, and at that point knowing if it's in our control to win the championship this year.
Nothing to lose, really. If we don't get it this year, then there's always next year. So yeah, we're going to go out and try and enjoy ourselves and take each race as it comes.
Of the 12 teams, 7 tour card holders were competing.
I'm Phil Robertson. This is Walker Racing.
Keith Swinton, and this is Team Alpari FX.
Bjorn Hansen, and this is Hansen Sailing Team.
David Gilmour, this is Team Gilmour.
Ian Williams, this is Team GAC Pindar.
Mathieu, Team LunaJets.
Taylor Canfield, and this is US1.
Along with the tour card holders were another 5 teams consisting of wild cards and qualifiers, including familiar faces here: Swede Johnny Bernson, France's Pierre-Antoine Morvan, Switzerland's Eric Manan, and 2 local teams, Jeremy Koo from Malaysia and Maximilian So from Singapore. Over 3 days, the 12 teams fought hard to make it through to the quarterfinals, with collisions, near misses and plenty of yelling. But there was one match that stood out: the pivotal standoff between the 2 main contenders for this year's world title, Ian Williams of GAC Pindar and Taylor Canfield of US1. Going into their head-to-head, the US1 skipper had a perfect score of 7 wins and no losses. Williams with 8 wins and just 1 loss. It was a crucial match that Canfield really needed to win, as topping qualifying would give him the right to pick Williams in the quarterfinals. If Williams topped the leaderboard, he would have first choice of opponent, and that was unlikely to be Canfield. This result was all about controlling the rest of the regatta.
So Williams has 15 seconds to burn, 30 seconds on the clock.
Has he got a start on starboard? Has he got a start on starboard?
Here comes the luff from Canfield. Williams in a bit of trouble. Windward boat. Will he tack? Will he get
tacking,
clear?
he is tacking! He is tacking!
Now
he
both
is tacking.
very close.
Look at it! Look at his main, field on port.
Williams is trying to get through the tack. We're going to see a split tack start. Taylor Canfield off to the left-hand side. Williams off towards the boat.
Oh, come on!
And I think that's a penalty on Williams. Oh, a green flag.
We're going to be strong.
I think Williams was lucky, to be honest, to get away with that, not get a penalty there. I think that right decision from the umpires, the green flag. We've got a dial. Williams bring the bow down at Taylor Canfield, who goes for the duck. Williams turning up nicely through the luff as Canfield turns up onto his stern. And Williams taking that left-hand side. Now, for me, Williams had the slam dunk there if he wanted it. Taylor Canfield was absolutely roaring. He has amazing execution, Canfield, sailing really fast and smooth through that turn, and it looks like they're nicely pressured up for the tack. And Canfield has used that to sail right by Williams, tacking up pressure, keeping the boat rolling, whereas Williams did those 2 tacks, slightly lighter. Canfield now has the lead.
Wow.
Here we go. We see the boat on the right-hand side getting another slight of pressure. Williams bringing the bow up.
Simon,
hook or
we
no
have
hook?
got a match on our hands
Tacking
here.
off then.
Williams getting a massive knock. And Kayla Canfield ducking. Whoa, advantage Canfield as he slides across the stern of Williams. Williams right into the tack. Now we're going to see a luff from Taylor Canfield. The jib is down. So now it's Taylor Canfield tacking.
Nice job.
Now for me, Taylor Canfield going for the juggler there. And I think perhaps making a little bit of a mistake, going for something that wasn't quite there. He dropped his jib, he went for the hard luff. Huge shift on Williams. It's just happening. It's the snakes and ladders are coming down the course, the shifts left and right, huge pressure differentials. And right in the middle of that, Taylor Canfield trying to stick one into Williams with his jib down. This is unconventional freestyle match racing at its best. Now Taylor Canfield is very lifted and he is having to tack off a lift. You heard him say, I'm out of phase. He is not loving this at all.
Well, Simon, let's look at it. The jib down didn't work. The luff didn't work. He slowed himself down and he tacked himself out of phase. All the while, Williams was in phase, going fast, and he got the breeze first. And there is the difference. It's got to be about 7 or 8 boat lengths now.
Today, the victor is Ian Williams. GAC Pindar coming through, taking the yellow flag, a potentially hugely significant win for the Brit.
So it would be Ian Williams of GAC Pindar in the driving seat and at the top of qualifying going into the quarterfinals with 10 points. Taylor Canfield of US1 also on 10 points. Phil Robertson of Walker Racing on 7.5 points. Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets on 7 points. Pierre-Antoine Morvan of Van Aglo's sailing team and Eric Manan heading up Team Sailbox, both on 6 points. The final 2 making the quarterfinals were Keith Swinton of Team Alpari FX and David Gilmour of Team Gilmour, both scraping through on 5 points each. So 8 were through to the quarterfinals. With Ian Williams winning that crucial qualifying match against Taylor Canfield, he had the pick of the other 7 sailors to race in the quarterfinals. The GAC Pindar skipper was merciless in the pre-start of the first 2 matches, forcing the young Australian over the line in both starts and winning with ease. David Gilmour's starting just wasn't good enough for the inch-perfect Williams, who dispatched the young Aussie 3-0. Canfield was similarly brutal with his chosen opponent, wildcard entry Pierre-Antoine Morvan, the result also going 3-0. The US1 skipper showing he was on a mission. Defending Monsoon Cup champion Phil Robertson of Walker Racing had the 3rd pick and chose wildcard Eric Manan. Manan had shown good form in the regatta and had excelled at the 2014 Argo Group Gold Cup in Bermuda.
We went through to the quarterfinals. Pick was yesterday. We picked Eric Manan.
He picked us, so yeah, it's going to be interesting racing against him.
Just on paper, we probably picked the weakest guy. Non-tour card holder and someone who hasn't done as much match racing, especially in these boats over the years. So yeah, for us it wasn't a long, strenuous choice.
It wasn't really a surprise. Could have been either Ian or Taylor picking us. It was Phil, so yeah, nothing special about it.
It was a decision that Phil Robertson was soon aware could have been the wrong one. In the first 2 matches, Eric Manan took the wins. Robertson was on the back foot now and needed to win 3 straight races. Manan just 1. The defending Monsoon Cup champion Phil Robertson of Walker Racing was out of the regatta. A huge blow for the Kiwi, Manan showing he was a force to be reckoned with going into the semi-finals. In the final pairing, it was Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets up against Keith Swinton of Team Alpari FX. This was the only quarter-final that went down to the wire, running to all 5 matches. Both Swinton and Richard desperate to get through to the semi-finals. In match 4, Swinton had stayed in the game by defeating Richard. It was now 2-all.
And Richard jives to protect. This could be the defensive move. This could decide the event. Mathieu Richard bringing his bow up to try and match the onslaught from Swinton. Mathieu Richard is lower, coming up with a big luff from Mathieu Richard. Keith Swinton in a windward position. He is keep clear. Richard has to give him room to keep clear. And another luff from Richard. The bow spinning up into the breeze of Swinton, who now looks to turn away. Now, the first luff looked like a green, but what about the second? And the umpire is holding a blue flag. Keith Swinton has been awarded a penalty in this critical exchange of blows down this run.
After an incredible fight of these two teams exchanging blows and even penalties, Mathieu Richard has earned the right to join the other 3 into the semi-finals of the Monsoon Cup.
Ian Williams of GAC Pindar, Taylor Canfield of US1, Eric Manan of Team Sailbox and Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets had all made it through to the semi-finals. For Ian Williams and Taylor Canfield, their sights were set firmly on the World Championship title. Join us after the break as the semi-finals begin and we find out who will go through to the finals and ultimately win the Monsoon Cup and the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. Welcome back to the Monsoon Cup in Johor, Malaysia, the 7th and final stop on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, the regatta that will decide who will also be crowned ISAF World Champion. We're down to the last 4 teams into the semi-finals. Ian Williams of GAC Pindar, Taylor Canfield of US1, Eric Manan of Team Sailbox and Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. Ian Williams had the choice of opponent and revealed that he would race Eric Manan. For Williams, all his choices were tough, but if he could beat the Swiss sailor in the semi-finals, Williams would become ISAF Match Racing World Champion. Taylor Canfield was, by default, up against Mathieu Richard.
Through to the semi-finals, we're pretty pleased with our performance so far in the event. We're sailing well as a team, and unfortunately we did not have the choice again in the semi-finals, so we will be racing Mathieu Richard.
It will be obviously very, very tough. It's a very strong team. They are defending world champion. They did an impressive score here so far with 13 wins, I think, and just 1 loss. So that's obviously a very strong team, but we are really in a good shape as well, and I'm sure that we can do it, and we will do everything we can to beat them.
We've had plenty of great matches against him, so it should be a good battle.
It was the first to 3 points, with Ian Williams dominating Swiss sailor Eric Manan in the first 2 matches. Williams sailing with pinpoint accuracy, Manan was now on the back foot. For Ian Williams, skipper of GAC Pindar, the next 3 matches were not just any semi-final matches to any regatta. This was his chance to make match racing history and be the first sailor to win 5 ISAF Match Racing World Championship titles, a culmination of a lifetime of sailing. We join match 3 of their semi-final. It's Ian Williams versus Eric Manan.
They have a lot of time to waste here. Williams picking a very early lead time. But he's doing a good job of it so far. Manan having to twist and turn to stay behind. He knows that if he overlaps above...
Hey, no way, don't go in there. Hey, Prodes, there's no space. No space, full speed.
Now this could see the umpires intervene. Williams suggesting that there was no room inside Williams, but Manan looking for the luff. Let's see what the umpires say.
He's inside, he can't force his way in. Come down. Burn time.
Manan there, just managing to get his bow in, forcing Williams up off the exclusion zone. That has trashed Williams' lead back time as Manan now commits above and Williams comes in for a massive luff. He has plenty of time to burn as we enter the final stages of this pre-start.
Jib down.
Williams has managed to shut the door, I think, on Eric Manan. He can lay that committee boat. And Manan is boxed off to the right-hand side, so the quick response from Williams saves the day. At the moment, the British skipper still under control.
5 seconds to go. Williams puts the bow down and says, let's go. He's going for the start. He's bow forward ahead. He takes an early advantage and shuts out Eric Manan at the start.
And that is the way you want to start a potentially World Championship winning race. Bow forward ahead of your competitor.
C'est parti.
Williams has tacked onto port. Manan will tack back, as you say, Simon, to get out of phase with him, trying to take a bite out of him. He doesn't want to let Williams sail in the same piece of water on his breeze on the same tack. Next move is Williams.
As we come back, Manan has, I think, gained a small amount there. Feels fast in for the time those two boats came back together.
It's a tack jibe set in the wind shadow of Manan. That is a very difficult maneuver to pull off and still stay ahead with Manan so close behind. Mark number 1, with the World Championship on the line, Williams just leading.
And it has got very light at the bottom of the course. Williams just trying to plot his way down this bottom gate, standing between those two marks and then diving or tacking out around either side of the race course.
Williams could be in a little bit of pressure here to keep this lead. Here we go, leeward gates. Williams will turn right. Manan jibes. Will he split or follow Williams around? Either way, the Frenchman has caught up.
Both boats leading almost simultaneously around their respective marks at the bottom gate.
Big gains by Manan.
This is it. This could be the defining moment of this race. Manan coming in with starboard advantage in Williams, looking for the cross. 4 lengths out, he didn't have that. Just picking up a little burst of pressure just when he needed it and sliding across the bow of Eric Manan at the top of this race course.
Manan on the attack, charging forward, just reeling him in ever so slightly. He hasn't been able to convert yet, but on this final run, Eric Manan is within range to attack Williams's breeze.
Hey, come on, windward boat! Windward boat,
There's the luff from Williams, closing down the gauge.
Flag him! Hey, that's a slow turn. Jibing.
There the jibe.
No pole jibe.
Williams, no pole jibe, could be setting up to go right back. It's a slow jibe for Williams, but he is bow forward. Manan has trouble as well.
And he knew he was going to be hot out of that. There, the response, Graham Spence right up onto the bow, pulling the clue of that spinnaker down tight. And it is Ian Williams that comes through the line. They put their hands in the air, they punch. They have won the Alpari World Match Racing Tour title in a nail-biting finish.
Well done, Jerry.
And what a finish to that semi-final. Ian Williams, 3-0.
Good race, guys.
And a 5th world title to his name.
It's incredible. When I obviously started sailing, but more when I went full time, giving up my job as a lawyer, it was I just was hoping to maybe win 1 World Championship one day. So to have 5 is incredible. Great job by all these guys. I can't say enough. Chris Main, Mal Parker, Graham Spence, and Jerry Mitchell. Really pleased with Team GAC Pindar.
Ian Williams was the new ISAF World Champion and had made match racing history. But who would he be up against in the Monsoon Cup final? In the other pairing, it was defending world champion Taylor Canfield of US 1 up against Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. In the first 2 matches, Canfield had clearly lost his dominance against Richard, who was sailing superbly. In the third match, Richard started with a penalty and was finally disqualified, giving the win to Canfield. With the scoreline now 2-1 against Taylor Canfield, the US 1 team desperately needed to win the next 2 matches to stay in the fight to get to the Monsoon Cup final.
25 seconds now. Can Mathieu Richard keep control? His dirty air is spilling down onto Canfield, but he has to be very careful. The American right on his stern. Richard up and through the tack. Canfield's going to follow. He must think that Richard is early, otherwise he wouldn't attack there. Can Mathieu Richard make a start? There's the turn up and the luff from Mathieu Richard, looking to complete on starboard. Mathieu Richard completes his tack and Taylor Canfield forced to tack underneath. And Taylor Canfield has made another, what looks like a catastrophic mistake in that pre-start. And I just wonder,
We saw the mistake from him in the first race. Are we starting to see the wheels fall off this American team?
Stand by.
Taylor Canfield was on fire in the beginning of this round. He didn't lose any races. In fact, Ian Williams lost the race before Canfield did. But Canfield lost in the first round of qualifying to Ian Williams. And since then, I don't think he's quite sailed the same since.
Both boats on the lay line. The poles are up. And they are going to be going down this run. And we have seen the downwind, perhaps one of the best passing lanes for that follow boat.
Well, and the advantage does shift to the following boat because he can blanket the lead boat's breeze. So Canfield is on the attack. Spinnaker on Richard's orange sail, just perhaps shaking a little bit, twittering, fluttering there, and that shows you that Canfield's disturbed breeze is starting to affect him a little bit. Here we go, left-hand turn.
Richard with the jibe, and his jib is not pulled in all the way, so a slightly shoddy rounding from Mathieu Richard, not that close to the mark, and Taylor Canfield exploiting that, turning up inside his line and looking for that tack away.
Nice job, guys.
And they round that mark absolutely on Mathieu Richard's button.
Well, if Taylor Canfield and crew want to get back into this match, that is exactly the way to do it. Now just a couple inches separating the two teams.
US 1 Sailing starting to fire on this second lap. I think spurred on by that lured rounding. They came back into Mathieu Richard, and I think they can sort of sense the hope back in the match.
Canfield is definitely within range to attack, but it's Richard's race to lose.
Go, Hoist. Stand by for a match. Rod, anything the other way?
Yes, slightly better the other way.
Stand by. I think we just go. Jiving now.
Now we've seen Canfield lead the decision making this time. He's gone for the jibe early, sailing off to that left-hand side of the course.
Canfield jibing back on port to reconnect with Richard. Is he close enough to attack?
The boats come back together. The advantage is swinging back towards Mathieu Richard. And it was key at the top. Taylor Canfield right on his stern, had that opportunity to attack, chose to use that opportunity to split, if you like, to look for a little bit of extra pressure rather than attack him in a boat-on-boat sense. And I think that has just handed another couple of lengths advantage to Mathieu Richard, which I'm sure he will be thankful for.
Canfield has done the best job he could with the chips were dealt after that start, but it is Mathieu Richard who has done it again, the deuce over Taylor Canfield.
So it had come down to the last two teams to go head-to-head to decide who would win the Monsoon Cup here in Johor, Malaysia. It would be the new five-time ISAF World Champion Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar up against Mathieu Richard of Team LunaJets. It would be the first to win 3 points.
Williams now jibing, back down for the line. He's leading Richard into it.
Ian Williams has had a fantastic start.
Richard had no answer as he was boxed out of the first 2 starts by the British crew and found no way back into those matches. Even in the third match, when Richard finally found some clear air off the right-hand end of the line, Williams found the better breeze and raced away to an unassailable lead.
It is history making in front. Ian Williams and the GAC Pindar crew have won the Monsoon Cup and the Match Racing World Championship in amazing fashion.
Another 3-0 victory for GAC Pindar, who had won 19 of their 20 matches over the whole regatta, a notable achievement in itself.
I mean, these guys just did a great job. I think with these shifty conditions to go 19-1 for the regatta, I couldn't be happier with the performance. It's obviously been a very good year for Team GAC Pindar. We've made 6 finals out of 7. I think as we mature, we've learnt the game more and more and more. Had a great team this year, as always. And I feel that the systems and the processes have really come together at this regatta. And, you know, and they've all worked. So, yeah, as I say, couldn't be happier.
Ian Williams had won the Monsoon Cup against Mathieu Richard, a stunning performance from Williams, who had only hours earlier won his 5th ISAF World Championship title. He has become the most successful match racing helmsman of all time, and he is the only skipper ever to have won 3 Monsoon Cups, the final event on the Alpari World Match Racing Tour. From a total prize purse of $500,000 for the Alpari World Match Racing Tour, Ian Williams' season victory earns him $100,000. He also receives 310,000 Malaysian ringgits, approximately $86,000 for his Monsoon Cup victory. So the Monsoon Cup results look like this. In first place was Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar. Second spot, Mathieu of LunaJets. And third, Taylor Canfield of US1. So after the final results at the Monsoon Cup, the World Championship leaderboard looks like this. In first place, it's Ian Williams heading up GAC Pindar on 132 points. In second, and with 116 points, is Taylor Canfield of US1. Mathieu from LunaJets is in third on 109 points. And Phil Robertson in fourth spot on 77 points. Now the teams have a few months to regroup and reset their goals in preparation for the Congressional Cup in Long Beach, California this May, the first event of the 2015 World Match Racing Tour.